Hi, today we'll be making some chicken and lentil koftas and a wrap. It's a very easy recipe that you can do it at home. So let's see how we start and what are the ingredients we are going to be using. Some chicken, lentils that have been soaked overnight, and I have some onions, green chillies, a little bit of parsley and lime. You can use coriander leaves as well. That gives a better flavor than parsley. But today I'm using parsley because I don't have coriander leaves. So starting off, we have to mince all these ingredients. So you can put everything together or different ingredients at a time and grind it well. Initially, I'm grinding the chicken and lentils together and adding the seasoning as well. It's better to put the seasoning at this stage because it combines really well. Just adding a few onions and leaving the rest of the onions to put later. So this is the consistency we are looking at. If you're using minced chicken, you can grind that as well because we want the chicken and lentil to be a paste. I've ground the rest of the lentils to a nice smooth paste. Not very smooth. There will be a few lentils, but that's quite alright. That will give a nice crunch to your kofta. If you're using your sumit, make sure you don't put all your chicken and grind it together because it may not grind evenly. So doing this in a few batches, I'm adding the coriander and the green chilies and grinding this batch of chicken, and this is the consistency we are looking at. It should be a smooth and nice so that it's easy to make the koftas. So finally we are putting all these ground ingredients together and the rest of the onions. That's going to give a nice crunch and mixing this together. At this time I'm adding a little bit of garlic powder. You can even add a little bit of chilli, that is the chili flakes, that will give a nice flavor too. Seasoning it a little bit more, and finally the lime. This brings everything together. I'm adding 1 egg, but this is optional. Even if you don't add the egg, it's easy to combine. So if you like, you can add an egg at this time and mix everything thoroughly. You can use your hands, wash clean and use it to mix it and then make balls like this. So the koftas you can make any shape that you like. So I'm making it into little molds like this. If you're making these for a function, you can make it early and keep this in the fridge, and even make it and keep it in the freezer. This keeps quite well. You can leave it in the fridge until it's ready to be fried, and make sure to fry them just before eating. That's the best way to have koftas. Now my koftas are fried and ready. Now let us see how we made the wrap. Make sure to make the wrap before the koftas because we have to keep the mixture for some time before making the rotis. So there goes 3 cups of flour, a little baking powder, salt, I'm adding a little bit of curd and butter. This is to make it soft and delicious. There goes my egg. So mix this nicely and use some water to combine it nicely and make it into a nice soft dough. So for this dough you have to knead it really well. I'm adding a little bit of sugar as well because the sugar will make the rotis a little crispy and give it a nice crispiness as well. This is a good exercise for you, kneading the dough well. You have to really knead it nicely so that you end up with a nice soft dough. Better change it to a good work surface and knead it thoroughly. I use my kitchen counter to do this. Works pretty well. You can see my dough is ready, soft and nice. So I'm going to leave this until it's time to make the koftas. You should start frying the koftas only when you start making the rotis. So putting one kofta at a time, so that I want the koftas to be really crispy when I make the wrap. Make sure when you're frying the koftas that you fry it in a very low flame, because we want the kofta to be cooked thoroughly inside. Now back to the dough. When the dough has been sitting for some time, just make small balls like this and roll it into a tiny roti. While I'm rolling the roti, I've already kept my tawa already. Pan is heating, so quickly put a little bit of butter and cook both sides of the roti. Keep turning and cook it really well. These rotis take very little time to cook, so you can start doing it just before eating. So it's a very fast cooking roti. Make sure to keep turning both sides. You can add a little bit of butter or ghee for better taste. Making an onion salsa for the wrap. So adding a little bit of salt, onions, tomatoes and some capsicum. You can use bell peppers if you have, and of course some lime. Lime gives a nice fresh flavor. Anything fried tastes much better with lime. So there goes the lime, mixing this thoroughly. And now time to assemble the wraps. The koftas are all ready and fried. So now rotis are also made and ready. Now assembling it. Putting a little bit of mayonnaise at the bottom. You can add some cheese as well, and if you like, you can add a little bit of tomato sauce as well. So I'm adding some salad and the salsa, tomatoes, and then topping it up with the crispy golden kofta. So now it's ready to be served. Sure, you're going to enjoy making this and eating. Make sure to share your thoughts. Until I meet you next, happy cooking and bye for now. If you have not subscribed to my channel, now's the time to do that. See you soon with another recipe.